Alrighty, folks, welcome back. I think today is day 12, but we know not to hold me to that because I may not remember. This is where we landed. Let me pick this up for you. There's so much glare in here, especially because I used the gloss gel. You may not be able to see all of this yummy texture that's in there. I kind of like that. What I get to do today, interestingly enough, when I kind of asked, oh, what's next? I got purple, which makes sense to me because we're kind of layering in some different colors. I'm really loving up here where those lighter pinks next to this kind of orangey color are coming through. So I'm getting that to just keep going. Like, again, I'm not married to these circles or the idea of them or the motion or anything like that. I'm just continuing to play and discover. That's the theme. I'm taking out my, this is my favorite brush with acrylic. I had gotten this set for my daughter and I love this brush. It's like a little wonky. It's the perfect size for something like this. It might be just a tiny bit small actually now that I'm in here. But I got to pull that out today, and the colors I got to work with today were the cobalt turquoise, the quin magenta, some of this nickel azo gold, because again, I want these colors to be cohesive. So this is now in my palette. So I'm bringing that in, and that's in the high flow. You can tell as it's moving through just the palette paper, and some high flow in the white. And I did a little color mixing earlier just to kind of see what these would look like. I know this combo, quin magenta and the cobalt turquoise, makes a beautiful purple. That's this purple I've been working with down here on other pieces. So I know what that looks like. I've added in, this is what it looks like with some of the high flow. Just even this is gorgeous, right? So I want to get that on here. And a little bit of the quin magenta and the nickel azo gold makes this beautiful reddish color, with a little bit of white makes this peachy color. So I'm just going to be dipping into all of this today and just going with it and seeing where it leads, and going from there. It's going to pick up and move differently on the surface based on the texture, which is kind of what I'm interested in. And yeah, we're just going to go and just keep on a trucking. But yeah, I think it looks a lot better in person than you guys are seeing in the glare. But or at least that's a story I'm telling myself, a story I'm sticking to. Okay, I'm gonna do kind of old school here and hold this palette in my hand. Just because I can. So if this gets in the way, bear with me there. Ooh, I like that color. That's pretty. This might be a bit of a quiet kind of day here, but that's okay. Now, what if I get some neutrals in here? Okay, okay, yeah. I think I want more of this color right here. Up here. Okay. See this lusciousness going on right here where it breaks up? That's kind of what I want. Spray it with a little bit of water. I'm curious. I bring some of this in here. Just sticking my fingers in the high flow right now. A little bit of variation. Not look, there's another heart. I'm telling you. Oh, that lavender's pretty. I like that lavender. Oh, yes, please. More of that. More of that lavender, please. Over here. It's another really pretty neutrally color. I need more white to make that color in here. Let's do the other thing I got to start to bring in is some of this bead gel, so stay tuned for that. I may not get there today. My spidey sense is telling me I'm going to hear those dulcet tones any second. Let's do some of that color right there next to that teal. I'm curious because I've got the high flow with the just the regular fluid, how that might affect. If it were just the high flow, I'd get a lot more runnage. Is that a word? It is now. See this blooming effect here? That's what the high flow does. So that's the kind of effect. Oh, yes, 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 yes. This is what I want, is what's going on right here. Is watching paint run as interesting as watching paint dry? You gotta wonder sometimes. Okay. Let me get that timer. This corner didn't get any love up there. Let me get this timer. Let's go this way just a little bit. See what we think about where we are, where we've landed for today. I like the linear additions. I'm really digging this right here. I'm gonna stop that from running because that's freaking cool right there. This open spot down here. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Yeah. You never know. You never know where these things are going to go. And I'm still looking at it going, okay, Tracy, where is your focal, your focal point? Composition wise, it needs some work still. but there is some interesting stuff going on. And my favorite part of all of it is just how the paint sits in and amongst this texture, which is super cool and groovy. The color combo is really interesting. You know, I'm getting called to use these colors, which is why I'm using them. And they're not my typical combos, although the cobalt turquoise, the quin magenta, I put in pretty much everything. The nickel azo gold will go in stuff. I don't know. I say that they're not my typical combos, but that's not true. They kind of are. So I guess I need to stop here. I'm going to just dry this because I don't want that to go any farther. I would love for that feathery bit to stay and not to bleed quite so much. There. Yeah. Part of me wants, don't come for me. This wants to be dark up here. Darker, I should say. That needed some purple up there. Too much water. Okay, I need to stop or I will keep going, and that is against the rules. So this is where we are today. This is when I get excited, right? Because I'm going along and I'm going along and I'm like, and it felt a little forced there for a while. Like I was getting too stuck on this one idea, and it's not where this painting wants to go. It's not me, and certainly not how I paint. I don't tend to do stuff that is that intentional, I guess. I don't know the word I'm looking for. This needs to be dark right here. Oh, wow, that's way too blue. See, this is what happens when I cheat and then I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. Let's just let that do what it wants to do right there. I don't even know what I was trying to say. Sorry, I'm distracted, and I just want to keep playing. And honestly, that has been the hardest part about this whole thing, is I just get in and I get going and I just want to keep going. So I'm liking the light part down here, and that's almost like there's so much going on here, and this is sort of a quiet spot. I could make another one of those up here if I needed to. Still not honed in 100% on the composition yet. That I think is still evolving. I've kind of been holding on to this circle right here, but I think I need to let that go. And maybe this one ends up being more of the focal point. I'm not sure yet. I think it will become obvious, and it hasn't yet, so I will keep holding on to that. And yeah, it's pretty wet, so it's going to move around a little bit. I might actually pull out my heat tool to dry this so that it doesn't spread any more than it already has. So I think I will go off camera and do that. Yesterday, I did finish this painting that I'm calling Waiting for Santa. And this, and it's on a 9x12 sheet right now, but it'll get cropped to 8x10. So I popped this online in case anybody's interested in that. But this was super fun. So this has all the same colors, the texture, a sweet little image in there. And yeah, this was fun. So as I've been doing this, I've been finishing other paintings. And this is how you can't even see all of this in here, how the next clean off sheet's going. I was playing with the texture in here. I don't know if you can see that. Cross hatching, I really like that. So I'm gonna take the rest of this color after I dry this and put it on there and see where we land for today. But yeah, I'm happy. It's coming along. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.